Kinda Funny membership drive is happening. To celebrate, we put up 2 formerly exclusive Gregways over the weekend, and we're now letting everyone enjoy your membership exclusive call-ins for weekly happy hours. If you love what we do and haven't supported in a while, come on back for August and pitch in on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames with your Kinda Funny membership.
Today's stories include Dragon Age has a release date, the Plucky Squire has a release date, and rumors of an Xbox game being ported to PlayStation. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily.
So we're at the inn Friday night. It's a big get-together.
Yeah.
We're hanging out. Everybody's drinking. The spirits are high, right? And I see Adeline, and I see Celine, and I see Reina, and I walk up to them, and I have 2 rubies and 1 sapphire. The ruby was not the size of a tangerine. It was 2 rubies and a sapphire, and I gave them all these jewels that I found while mining in the mines.
You give 1 each.
I have three jewels.
Yeah.
Gave them all to him. I got a thank you from all 3 of them.
Oh, that's big. That's big.
But it was like just to thank you, not even like a whoa, wow. Not one of them was like, whoa, cool.
So, like, did you spread the wealth here? Like, was it you gave 1 to Adeline, you gave another to another one, or was it all you just gave the 3 of them to the group?
All kind of like individually, but maybe they saw me giving them to, so maybe they're like, this is less special.
That would be my reaction, right? If I didn't feel special about it, I would have been like, oh,
exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that's what it was. And then I talked to Juniper, and Juniper was like, oh, you're here again. And I was like, okay, Juniper, like, you're making me feel like shit over here, but you're also letting me take a shower in your free baths over here, because she's the one who runs the bathhouse. She has all the crystals.
And it's a free bathhouse.
Well, because I did a cool chore for her, and she was like, hey, your next free baths are on me.
Oh.
I was like, cool.
Very bold of you to walk up to 3 baddies at the same time.
Well, they were sitting at different seats. It was just one big get-together, but
Gotcha.
I got to assume that they're talking about me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's Fields of Mystery, everybody.
That's Fields of Mystery. Of course, welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily. I'm your host, Blessing, Adioye Jr. Joining me is the Nitro Rifle, the baddie of Mystery.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Andy Cortez.
No good hairstyles, though. Let's get a couple good hairstyles. Every once in a while, there'll be a little market, and somebody will like be selling some hairstyles there. And there's no hairstyles that really speak to me, unfortunately.
Would you ever get in like the modding? Because I know you did all the Pokemon
I would
modding.
love to.
I'm sure that's going to happen for Fields of Mystery, where people let you like just customize your character the way you want to.
I would love to. I mean, there's only so much you could do with those pixels, but I'm efficient. We all know that.
I mean, we all know.
We saw Kevin and Greg and Nick in the Pokemon game walking around there.
Oh, yeah.
Looking special as all hell.
Of course, today's Thursday, August 15th, 2024. I didn't mention that earlier. One thing I do want to bring up, though, Andy, right before the show, you asked me if I saw a tweet or a retweet from friend of the show, Danny, who works at Heart Machine. She retweeted a tweet from this dev called Empty Vessel, who announced their game Defect. They tweeted out, "We're thrilled to reveal Defect to the world. It's a labor of love our team has been working tirelessly to bring to life, and we can't wait to show more to the world. Wishlist our vision of a cyberpunk shooter now." You then started to describe it. I then started to watch the trailer and go, this seems pretty cool.
This shit looks awesome.
Barry, are we able to bring this up? Because I feel like people should check this out.
They called the city.
I watched about half of this. It looks like just Judge Dredd. Like, let's just make a Dredd video game.
The vibes are right.
Would kill us. Like crabs.
And honestly, for Cyberpunk, all you really need is soundtrack in the right colors, and you're good.
Right. As long as you have this synth hitting, those saw waves.
Also, Anther Metal says Mick Gordon. Is Mick Gordon doing the soundtrack for this?
Fuck yeah, I could tell. That music
makes
sounds
a lot
like
of sense.
They couldn't care less.
So audio listeners, it's very cyberpunk looking, cyberpunk genre. Big tower you're climbing up. Pretty much just Dread.
Yeah. But it does look like it's about to get into some Doom.
It's a cyberpunk Doom game.
Oh my god. This looks fucking awesome.
Great logo. Wishlist now, Steam. So anyway, yeah, shout out to that. I saw that this tweet earlier. I was like, oh my goodness, this looks pretty sick.
I'm on the Steam page currently. Defect is a cyberpunk squad-based immersive shooter set in a dystopian world where AI controls the city with fearsome police forces. They battle rogue gang factions in intense 4v4v4 multi-objective, multi-finale face-offs featuring futuristic weapons and tech.
That's too much. I wanted this to be a single player game.
Well,
but I'm still gonna play it.
It says 4x4x4x4, which makes me wonder.
4 squads of 4.
And it says squad
like an extraction shooter.
But nothing about that looked multiplayer. I'm reading more into the thing now.
You didn't hear anybody like saying anything racist in the prox chat.
Because I'm wondering, like, when you say squad based, maybe you're just controlling a team of NPCs. That's like what I'm hoping.
I think it's 4 squads of 4.
Oh no, it says play with friends in PvP or co-op. Okay, well that does make it slightly less exciting, but I'm still looking to see what this is because that looked cool.
Looks really pretty. Yeah.
Looks really pretty. Andy, let's get into the show. Of course, remember, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. Housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Today, after Kinda Funny Games Daily, you're going to get GAMESCAST, which is a very special interview. Of course, me and Snowmike Mike are obsessed with 2XKO. We were playing one of these nights, and afterwards, I hit up Mike, and I was like, Mike, we got to talk to the devs. We got to talk to the devs about this game, because me and you got some questions. We got some things to talk about. So I shot off an email. They reached back and they were like, dude, we're down to come through. And so we're having on the lead champion designer of 2XKO to ask some questions and have some fun here. And so that's going to be your GAMESCAST. After that, you got a Screencast, which is going to be our Alien Romulus review. And then after that is the stream, which is some of that Spectre divide. So it's a pretty jam-packed day. If you're a Kinda Funny member, you can get today's Gregway, which is being done by the one and only Barrett Courtney. And then you can also get Kinda Funny podcast this afternoon and tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs and Delaney Twining. Today are brought to you by Monster Hunter Now, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 7 stories today.
Baker's dozen.
Oh my god.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck? Of course, the Baker's Dozens are being done by the people who are upping their support on for the Kinda Funny membership. I forget the exact details of it, if it's just Patreon or if it's on YouTube as well. I assume it's on YouTube.
I believe it's Patreon if you up your pledge on Patreon.
Gotcha.
Specifically.
So that sounds like the devil supported us on Patreon.
Wow.
Let's fucking go.
Wow.
Satan himself.
That's a big backing.
That's huge.
That's huge. Satan, a.k.a. Nakash.
Oh.
Yep.
Thank you so much for your support.
I know the devil had a nickname. That's awesome. Good for you, Satan.
I usually go with Beelzebub.
Yeah. Let's start off with story number 1. Dragon Age the Veilguard has a release date. I'm pulling from Ash Parrish at The Verge. And I'm not even going to read. I don't even need to read this. I want to live react to the trailer because Andy's not watched the trailer. I've not watched the trailer. I want to see what's up with that Dragon Age the Veilguard.
I watched 10 seconds. I was like, are we going to do this?
Yeah,
I'll stop.
Oh, yeah, we're doing this.
Here we go.
You have no idea what you have done. The blighted elven gods walk free, all because you disrupted my ritual.
That's Soulless.
I know that's
You
Soulless.
battle
That's the
against
guy.
gods.
He's the Dread
They will
Wolf.
not rest until you are on your knees. Fearful, cowering, helpless in the face of such power.
Goosies. I got goosies.
Rook, you've got this.
It's a cool ass crossbow.
I've seen your work.
That's Bianca.
You're
That's the name of the
clever,
crossbow.
Oh.
and you don't know when to quit.
You don't know me.
You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look.
I mean, I know my romance option already.
Oh my god.
Come on.
I'll be damned.
Dang, man, this looks ridiculous.
War, victory.
Whoa! Holy shit!
I'm ready.
God damn it.
I've never seen this before. There's something kind of exciting about it.
The Frostbite engine just cooking, man.
What is happening to me?
Let the Fade draw close.
Draw the dragon out into the open. Then attack.
You and me, Rook. Maybe that's what scares me.
About to get hot and heavy.
Yeah, dude.
These are the times in which legends are born or slain.
The ultimate baddie. Morgan. Yeah.
Our gods are back.
What's that fucking
skeleton guy?
Skeleton man just
How do we
appears
stand
out of nowhere.
against that?
Hey, I'm Rodney.
So let's get it done.
You know he's gonna be a little freak, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Goggles and shit.
He gives
That was
huge freak vibes. Great lighting.
Whoa.
Fantastic lighting.
Whoa.
October 31st. That's when
Damn.
you're
I was
get
gonna
it.
be super busy on Halloween. I guess not.
Fuck, is that Halloween? Shit. Yeah, October 3rd. Holy shit. Damn.
That's
a fun
exciting.
one.
That's so exciting.
Of course, I'm going to bring in this one paragraph from Ash Parrish at The Verge. BioWare is announcing the release date for Dragon Age: The Veilguard and sharing a new trailer to commemorate the occasion. Players will be able to return to Thetis, the name of the game's world that is simultaneously a clever acronym for the Dragon Age setting. On October 31st, more than 10 years after the release of the previous game, Dragon Age Inquisition. Andy, you're the Dragon Age guy in my life. How does this trailer sit with you?
I'm so jazzed up. I'm so jazzed up to see all these different characters and different world settings and environments. We've seen a lot of sort of just this intro throughout a lot of different gameplay segments and gameplay clips, whether it comes to what I was able to see at Summer Game Fest and then sort of releasing that gameplay demo. This is so exciting. Really cool to kind of see these more introductions to these extra characters. This is exactly how you want to make a trailer. You show off the tone, the setting, a couple of different NPCs, relationships, stakes. This all seems really, really exciting. I love seeing these different biomes and environments.
Yeah, for everything that I know about Dragon Age and why people like Dragon Age, it looks like they're hitting all the important beats. Like you mentioned, yeah, show off some of those relationships between characters, show off some of the combat. I guess I don't associate Dragon Age with cinematic. How cinematic would you say the Dragon Age games have been? Because this seems, from the trailer, I'm like, oh shit, this seems very cutscene heavy, which is pretty cool.
I would say you'd get kind of major cutscenes when you're hitting major story beats for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's like, because you spend so much of the game, because it is this open world RPG, there are tons of moments where you're not getting cutscenes because you're just walking into a town and then you see an NPC and you talk to them and it might give you the character conversation. Oh my God, Morgan looks incredible. You might get the character cutscene sort of cinematics where it's just like, here's a couple of different shots of you and your characters talking, but the cutscenes are usually reserved for the larger story beats. The skeleton guy looks awesome.
Skeleton guy looks
I don't know
awesome,
if he's
but also hilarious.
I don't know if he's a friend.
He looks like he's from a different
He
game.
seems like he's part of your crew or something, right? Or maybe like a temporary buddy that's helping you out.
I hope so.
Like, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to play this game. I don't know if I'm going to emotionally have time to play this game. But, like, that is my guy of the year.
He looked cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
love,
put him
like,
as Times Person of the Year.
He's got like a fanny pack.
I like him.
His goggles are
His
sick. They look
goggles.
like clocks, but also kind of like diamonds.
yo,
They
or
look like
shit.
jewels.
Look
yeah.
at his big old glove.
Yo, he's wearing gloves.
He has a big,
Why?
but he has a glove that is way too big for his skeleton hand.
Because
He'd be
he's
like,
got
I
like
don't-
a weird fanny pack, like where his crotch should be.
He's like, I don't like, I got blisters. I got to wear my gloves.
He doesn't look like he belongs in this game.
I love
It's
it.
fucking awesome.
I love him. The skeleton is Matt Mercer. Shut up.
No, they're joking.
No.
They gotta be joking.
No.
They're fucking with you.
You're lying.
They're fucking with
I'm
you.
looking into it. I'll see if Matt.
They're
Mercer's
probably
real.
lying.
They're joking.
Hold on.
Oh well, it seems
That'd be hilarious,
Shauna Duffy is doubling down.
No way. I don't believe
No
it.
way.
I don't believe
They
it.
have fucking Ganon. I mean, this looks awesome. I think I mean, especially this scene right here. This is my favorite part, where like you see the red lining coming through, and these two monsters fighting each other. It looks fucking awesome.
Big dragon coming down. I'm assuming. I mean, is that the Dreadwolf? I don't know if like Solus turns into that dude. Also, after this, Barrett, can you bring up their Twitter page, because in leading up to this, when they released like the tweet of hey, tomorrow the release date was or whatever, there was a little clip of just a combat moment where your character like does this really cool kind of flip roll back, and it just looked super sick in action. Audio listeners, you're probably hating this because you haven't seen shit. You're probably on the road right now. Stop the car right now. If you're an ambulance and you have a patient in the back of your ambulance, they'll understand.
Of course, they're probably a fan as well.
Watch the video.
You just walk over to them
really
with your
quick
phone.
before I pull that up. Dragon Age did tweet out a list of the voice cast. Manfred is voiced by Matthew Mercer, and Manfred is, in fact,
No way.
the skeleton man with the goggles.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
So that means he's a mainstay.
What tweet did you want me to bring up?
They had a recent tweet either from yesterday or in the last week or so
about like the timeline of like what they're revealing.
I don't even know what the tweet was really about. There was just the gameplay clip. It may have been a GIF, it may have been a video, but it's like your Rook in combat and he does a sick flip back, and it was just a really cool agile move.
Why do they have Matt Mercer voicing the skeleton man?
Hey,
I love it. I mean,
that's hilarious.
It reminds me of Withers in Baldur's Gate. You got your half dead zombie guy.
But Withers, in a weird way, just fit the vibe, because every single thing in Baldur's Gate felt like, oh damn, this is fucking wild. Like everything was so crazy in that game that nothing felt crazy. In all the trailers I've seen so far of DragonAge Dreadwolf, everything kind of fits the theme of like this Age of Dragons fantasy, Solace and the Morrigan and the Hot People, and like all of a sudden this goofy ass skeleton walks up and it's Matt Mercer.
I love it, and I'll tell you why, because I think it's easy to think that that's the tone, that the tone has like always been over serious, and that's why I wasn't really bothered by that initial character reveal that everybody was annoyed by, when they're like, oh god, what is this MCU writing bullshit? What is this, like, why are they? And it's like, dude, Dragon Age has always been comical. Dragon Age has always been super sarcastic. Your characters have always had a funny back and forth. Your characters talk shit about each other. They're always very silly and goofy with each other. And so that's why that tone piece never bothered me. I'm expecting this dude to just be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I expect the writing for him to be awesome.
I love that, because like, I associate Matt Mercer, I feel like, usually with more gruff, like more hardened.
He's Cassidy.
Yeah, Cassidy or Ganon, or like,
He
is also Yusuke though, Blessing. In,
I think that's a good
Persona
call.
5. Like he's got the comedy kind of chops. You know?
I mean, I love him showing his range.
I love this man. I love.
I can't
Manfred.
find whatever tweet that you're talking about.
Oh, maybe I dreamed it. Maybe it came to me in a dream.
BioWare, because I'm on Dragon Age.
It's possible. Maybe it was BioWare.
Yeah.
It's possible.
So as you're looking for that, right, I want to talk about the October 31st part of it. Of course, it was rumored that this thing was coming out in October. I think we all but like knew that this game was going to show up in October. Putting it at the 31st is making October a jam-packed month. I got Blessing Super Fun Game Release calendar.
Tell me all about it.
Right? October 31st puts it 2 days after Life is Strange, double exposure. A few days after Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. About a week after Call of Duty Black Ops 6. But then even leading up to that, you got Super Mario Party Jamboree in October. You got New World Eternum. You got Metaphor ReFantazio. You got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. You got Silent Hill 2, and you have Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. If you're a fantasy person in particular, you're eating. There's a lot of fantasy going on.
This is very exciting. That's going to be ridiculous.
That's going to be a fun time though, because like
be crazy.
it's also one of those months.
In particular, Bless, like that is.
Yeah,
you're not gonna sleep in October.
Well, I'm gonna have to manage it. Here's the thing. I know it's disappointing for you to hear, Barrett. Metaphor ReFantazio.
Here we go.
Excited as I am for that game.
You're a fake Atlas fan, Bless.
I've not beaten Persona 3. I'm 60-something hours into Persona 3. You want me to go straight from maybe finally having Persona 3 beat by that time to jumping into another one of those games?
Yes.
And think about like all the
could've
time
had
it
it
takes
beaten
to
months
fight
ago.
a guy, you know?
No, because like I was playing Persona 3 at the same time as Tekken, and then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth came out, and I had to play 80 hours of that, and then Balatro came out, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. And then Dragon's
is
Dogma
addicting.
2 came out, and everybody was like, oh, you better play Dragon's Dogma 2. And I played 10 hours, and I was like, I didn't need to play this. It wasn't for me. It wasn't my kind of game. But games just kept coming out, and then I came back to it. I put in about 30 more hours because guess what? I got COVID. And
Guess what?
guess what? I got COVID, which opened up my time. I had like a free week, and so I played so much fucking Persona 3. I probably
You're
have
really close. I know you're close.
yeah, I probably have less than 20 hours left in this game.
What
I
month
imagine.
are you in?
I think end of October.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting into November. I
Imagine if
forget
it was
exactly
real
where.
time though. You could just like slash people faster and they'd be dead. You know, like you don't
I
gotta
mean,
wait
here's the beautiful
around.
thing about Persona turn-based combat, Andy. It feels real time because of how quick you're making a lot of decisions. It's fucking cool. I love it.
And here's the thing, water.
This low calorie fucking soda tastes like the real thing.
Okay, you drink Coke Zero all the fucking time. Shut up.
It's so
bitch.
good. It's so good.
One in chat.
Coke Zero's so
One in
good.
chat pissing me off saying, "Oh, Cry Me a River, I have too many games to play." The whole point of me saying all this is that's why I don't have Persona 3 beaten, and that's also why I don't know if I'm going to get around to Metaphor Refantasia when it comes out. I'm not complaining about too many games. I'm just saying I can't play all
He's
the
just
games.
apologizing to me ahead of time.
Yeah,
and I feel
because
like
he-
he's also tangentially
Setting the stage.
apologizing to all of you out there who might like Metaphor when it comes out because it probably won't be on our top 10.
It might be. I mean, here's the thing. Nobody else here is playing Tekken 8. And so, like, if anything, I should be the one pissed off because that's one of the best games of the year. And that might not make it on our top 10.
What if I
Probably
mean I saw a lot of Evo on it.
Yeah. Is that enough for you to put in your top 10? What if I taught you how to play Tekken 8 before the end of the year? Because I'm down. We can do these streams. Blessing teaches Andy.
I just don't got it in me.
Here's
but-
the other thing also about Metaphor Fantasia is that it comes out the same day as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And I am so all in.
You're such a sicko.
Sparking
I was
Zero.
hanging out with a friend of mine a couple weeks ago, and he's a huge Dragon Ball. What is Sparking Zero a kind of
Tenkaichi.
Yeah, he's
No,
a
no.
huge fan of those games, and I feel like you two would be able to bond over this one. This is his like most anticipated game this year.
That's my thing. It is legitimately one of my most anticipated games this year. And I know for people who are on the outside looking in, you might go, "Really, an anime arena fighter? You don't understand. This shit means something to me, man." Fucking Tenkaichi 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. And like I got to play this at Summer Game Fest, and I'm like, you're doing all the right things. It looks great. You got the character roster, you got the art style, you got the fucking graphics. It looks like a 2024 version of a thing I love. Man, let's fucking go. Sparking Zero. Coming out in October.
I guess we're still on the topic of dragons.
Oh, yeah, I say all that to say that when you look at the month of October, does October 31st, I guess, worry you for your own needs? I'm sure it's going to be fine overall, but like
Give me the rundown again, Bless. Give me the
I
end.
wish-
Go mid October to beginning of November.
here's the thing that pisses me off is that Game Informer's website doesn't work anymore because I would go to them because they have more of an accurate list.
Stupid GameStop.
Yeah, fucking GameStop. Going by my super fun game release calendar, let's say starting October 15th, you have New World, Aeternum. 17th, Super Mario Party Jamboree. 25th, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Also on the 25th, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. And then, the 29th, you have Life is Strange Double Exposure. And then in November, starting off, you got Mario and Luigi Brothership and Slitterhead. I guess you're fine.
I'm
you're not
totally
playing.
chill.
You're not playing any of that shit.
I'm
'cause,
totally chill.
whenever you are taking a break and want to get away from Mike and Nick from Call of Duty Black Ops, you just go over and play some more Dragon.
I have the perfect reason because you got to assume we'll have the codes maybe a couple weeks before, maybe a week before, or whatever. I have the perfect reason to be like, sorry, Nick and Mike, I can't do this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to join you to get destroyed online.
For Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. I might be able to take your place in that. Actually, no.
No,
No.
you have way too much.
Yeah,
that
you're right.
playing.
No. But I also
Why
love...
are you adding another game to your list?
Because I also love Black Ops is the thing. Like, Black Ops is the only time I play Call of Duty. And so, like, I might have to make some choices come October.
Was it? I don't know if I forgot if it was me who tweeted out like, "What about White Ops?"
All right. Say that in your Trump impression.
Everybody's playing Black Ops, but nobody talks about White Ops. I don't know why we don't talk about White Ops, folks.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, why is it so hard to find anything on Twitter, dude? Like this.
Oh, because the website's getting worse by the day.
This dog shit, dude. I'm pretty sure I tweeted out something like that, and it was a big hit. Maybe I dreamt it as well.
We'll continue looking for that. I want to talk about story number 2. The Plucky Squire launches next month. I'm pulling from Tom Phillips at Eurogamer. The Plucky Squire, one of Eurogamer's most anticipated games of the year, will launch for PC, PS5, Switch, and Xbox Series X and S on September 17th. Publisher Devolver Digital has announced. It'll also be day one on PlayStation Plus for anyone signed up to Sony's subscription service.
Which tier?
That's a very good question. I wish it's specified. The way that it says it makes me think that it's at the bottom tier, but like knowing how PlayStation operates, usually this would be extra if it's not coming out at like the beginning of the month. And so let me double check.
This game looks so cool, man.
I mean, September, that's soon. That's good for it though. I feel like this is one of those games where you want to announce the release date, and have people be able to play it ASAP. I don't think you need to drag this one out. And yeah, this game looks super cool.
What's going to be the TTB on this? What's going to be the time to beat?
Time to beat?
I'm going to give this 8 hours.
8 hours? I was going to say
12.
How long would I want this game to last? Because there's also like the parts where they jump out of the book and it looks like more of a 3D platformer situation. I'm going to say 10 hours. Somebody in chat says, multiple people in chat are saying 20. No way. Absolutely not. I don't want this game to be 20 hours long.
Whenever I see gameplay clips of it, like the one that Barrett was just showing, I agree with you that when I see the 3D stuff, I'm like, ooh, cool. Is this what the game is?
Mm.
Is it just like a 50-50 mixture of both of these things? Because some of these puzzles, we see these little word puzzles where you have your little character picking up a word and like filling in a sentence. And then we saw that one segment of some gameplay clip where it looks like you're in a Punch-Out minigame. Is this just like an amalgamation of a bunch of different
That's what it looks
games?
like. And when I see games like that, I think more on the shorter side.
It bums me out when I see a lot of mixture of stuff. Because I kind of want it to have a core loop that it sticks around. I want it to be mainly one thing with a lot of things sort of intertwined, as opposed to like, hey, here's 20% of these 5 different things.
I think if you pace well enough, it can be done very well. I think It Takes Two is the example for me, where that game, it feels like every other moment you're doing something different than you were doing. And like, it was just a well-paced game for the most part. Maybe not entirely, but like when you get towards the end of that game, I was ready for it to end.
That's a phenomenal game, though.
But for a lot of it, I was like, oh no, the way that this is doing like the baton pass, different mechanics was working out for me. So if it's doing that kind of thing where moment to moment you're doing something different, I think a solid 8 hours for that kind of game is the sweet spot. And yeah, it's also like, if the main things here are you're doing the storybook stuff, which looks a bit more, it looks like a 2D Zelda to me in those moments.
Yeah, top down.
Yeah,
sort of isometric. Well, not really isometric because it's not at an angle, but you know.
Yeah, and then like when you hop out, you're doing, I guess, like I assume 3D platform stuff. I've not gotten like a sense of what's going on there, but if you're spending most of your time in the Zelda stuff, give me 8 hours. I think that's good. And also,
it looks beautiful.
To confirm as well, PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So the top 2 tiers, not the bottom tier.
Okay, gotcha. Wait, bottom 2 tiers?
Top 2 tiers.
Top 2
So
tiers.
the bottom tier
There's 3.
is Essential. There's 3. There's Essential, which is what we've always gotten. There's Extra, which is the catalog. And then there's Premium, which is the catalog plus old school games.
I love that. I mean, you making the It Takes Two comparison felt very apt, because this game reminds me when it's a lot of It Takes Two when it's in that 3D environment. Like the world looks so well rendered. Because you're hopping out of this storybook, but now you're suddenly on a desk in somebody's room or whatever, and you see like all these little objects around you. It just looks super nicely rendered in the same way that It Takes Two looked really damn good.
Did you ever play Tinykin?
Yeah.
I think there's something that hits for me with games where you're just playing in like a kid's like bedroom, right?
And you're like, when small things are big.
When small, yeah, or like when big things are small. Like either way, when you're like looking at a cup and the cup is the size of you, and you like can hop in there and get a collectible, and then hop out, and then fucking pick up a pencil,
and then skateboard on a thing of soap.
Yeah.
God, what a
is that
awesome.
Psychonauts?
No, that was
that's
Tinykin.
Oh.
Psychonauts, that's also is that one of those games where you're small?
Just whenever games do like a thing where you become a little tiny guy and like suddenly you're like,
depends on the dream that you go into.
Gotcha.
Or the person's brain.
Subconscious.
Yeah.
Whenever games do that, I'm such a sucker for that kind of, here's this gimmick for a level.
Yeah.
Let's have you in this let's have you be a little tiny person in a big ass and not in a big ass,
Tiny
but
person with
like
a big ass.
suddenly this Coke can
That's
looks like a
South Park and Sick of Truth.
skyscraper. I love that sort of shit.
A game that plays with that a little bit is Thank Goodness You're Here, which I also really like.
Oh yeah, thank goodness
yeah.
you're
I
always
love
playing
that
with.
little guy.
It's
that
just
main
playing with
character.
scale nonstop. It's so funny.
Grounded also is another one. Also, Grounded wasn't my kind of game, but like if you're a survival person, right, I feel like that gives you that sensation. We need to do a ranking. We need to do a shit list that is top 10 games where you play as little guys.
I like that.
Yeah.
Top 10 little guys in gaming.
I'm sure that exists, and I'm going to look for it. During this word from our sponsor, of course, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames, where you can get the Kinda Funny membership, which allows you to get shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Monster Hunter Now. There's never been a better time to jump in and play Monster Hunter Now. The game allows you to embark on a global quest in the real world to track down and hunt monsters from the Monster Hunter universe with your friends. For a limited time, earn a powerful Mr. Beast sword and shield, the perfect starter weapon for new hunters via the Mr. Beast quest line. Check this out.
Late for work. Then Monster Hunter. Now. Boring date. Then Monster Hunters. Now. Then. Now. Then. Now. Then. Now. Then.
Not now!
Then. Now. Monster Hunter Now. Hunt anywhere.
Download Monster Hunter Now by scanning this QR code or going to kindafunny.com/Monster Hunter Now. Again, go to kindafunny.com/Monster Hunter Now to get Monster Hunter Now.
Okay, so I found a Reddit thread.
I also found the White Ops tweet.
What's the full White Ops tweet?
You tweeted on October 28th, 2022. Wow, October 28th, almost the date of Dragon Age.
Whoa.
2 years before.
Yeah.
You tweeted out that you were playing Modern Warfare 2 on stream. And then I replied, woke of duty. Who taught these women how to shoot guns? When are they going to make White Ops?
Who taught these women how to shoot guns? It's crazy.
Every movie when a woman knows how to do something, people always go like,
how'd she learn?
who taught her that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't who cares?
Golly.
She just knows how to do it, man.
God.
You know what I mean? So,
Reddit thread. This Reddit thread is from 2 years ago. Frank Zappa on Reddit. r/patient gamers. Games that let you play as a little guy. God, this is a long ass post. Hold on. So we got Pikmin, which that's a good one.
Pikmin makes perfect sense.
Chibi Robo, Katamari Damacy, Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective. I didn't know you were a little guy in that game. I also thought you were
You're
just
a dead little guy.
You're a dead little guy. Stray, which
Yeah, I mean,
but you're a
No.
regular sized cat though. It's not like you're an undersized cat.
you're not
in that
getting
game.
shrunk into the size of a marble. You know?
Yeah. Apparently there are Jack and the Beanstalk games. Or no, is this a different category?
Is that the genre, Jack and the Beanstalk? That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, no.
Is there a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game?
So they put a lot of work into this. Now that I'm looking at it, they separate them. So those games that I just read
Subgenres.
off are Jiminy Cricket games.
No, we gotta stop.
The concept in its purest form: small character, regular size world. So now we got you got Jack and the Beanstalk games, a similar concept, regular size character in a large world.
Okay.
And then they go off to list Shadow of the Colossus, God of War 3, Mass Effect, which is interesting.
What?
I don't think Mass Effect is that.
I mean, the space is big. You know?
I guess space is big, but that's every game. We're in space right now, if you think about it. Xenoblade Chronicles, which is interesting. Xenoblade Chronicles takes place on a giant, essentially. And then they asked for more examples, and then they added an edit with more games. Unravel, It Takes Two, Grounded, Webbed. I'm not sure. I've not heard of Webbed. The Legend of Zelda, Minish Cap, Bug Fables,
Yes.
Little Nightmares, Army Men, Supraland, and Toy Commander.
Minish Cap is a good shout out.
It's always like toy games. What about that one third-person shooter where you're a little action figure?
Yo, that was fun for that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some super chats for you that I want to bring in while we're here.
No one said It Takes Two. Well, that's what started the whole conversation.
Yeah, that's where we got here. You got to rewind.
Where were you, Rain
You
Man?
got to catch up. You can't just join the conversation mid-conversation. Cheesehead Troy says, did the supposed king of Halloween just ask if October 31st is Halloween? Here's the thing, right? Two things about this. One, y'all know I'm forgetful. So don't be surprised. And then two, me and Greg gave up the honor of King of Halloween. Sage Ryan and Janet Garcia share the honor. They're the kings of Halloween. And so that's a correction right there. Ricardo Gonzalez says, for a second, I thought Andy was talking about walking into a bar and dropping gems in real life. Talk about the cold open that you did for the show, which is very beautiful. Very beautiful story.
It feels a mystery. Are you going to play it, by the way?
I have it downloaded.
Whoa.
Yeah, I bought it yesterday during Gamescast as you guys were talking about it. I wanted to play it last night, and then like always, I fell asleep. Like 9:30. It was great. Average John writes it and says, have y'all played Deadlock yet? Y'all, it is great. Here's the thing.
Yes, I have. And that's all I'll say.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that, though.
Yeah, you could say, I mean.
Can you?
Yes, I've played it.
There you go.
Do you want me to invite you? Did you get an invite?
Yes, please. I didn't get an invite, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love an invite. And then, what else we got here? Daniel Alonzo says, Andy, now that Supreme Goth Mommy Morrigan is back, can we romance her? I hope we can.
It was so disappointing in Inquisition that you couldn't romance her. I don't think you can. I don't think they're going to let you. I think it's going to be just like an Inquisition situation where Morrigan just is part of the story and pops up in a couple of cutscenes, but I don't think she's going to be in the crew. I think she's just going to have some little small moments here and there, which sucks because, like, I'm trying to wife her up, bless.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, there are other mods for that?
There could be.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Jared F says, Andy, as the fantasy RPG guy, what would a AAA open world fantasy RPG by Rockstar look like? Could you pitch a game?
Oh man, I don't know. Because obviously you immediately think it's going to be super sarcastic and super... Everything's going to be a parody of everything. But it's like, no, what if Rockstar was like, no, we're this is going to be tonally like...
We're going to be genuine about it.
Yeah, obviously, they're very talented, and they could do that. It's just really hard to sort of picture.
Yeah. I mean, I'll think of it being more Red Dead 2 adjacent, right? Like, we're going to craft this world as best as we can and make it almost more of like a simulation RPG type situation.
Imagine if orcs were in Red Dead 2. Just picture that.
I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Put a dragon in there.
Imagine if the bears were like a mystical being that you're hunting.
Ooh. Yeah, I think they could do it.
You go out for these hunts, like that's such a great side quest.
I would be down for if Rockstar wanted to do like a light, not parody per se, but like make a fantasy game that is almost like a commentary on fantasy. Because they do that, I think, pretty well, right? Like GTA, I think, is the most extreme version where GTA is straight up parody. Red Dead, those games, I feel like are good. Here's our encapsulation of what a Western is and our own commentary on it, like layered on top of it at the same time. I feel like doing that for fantasy could be very interesting.
I do think that we're going to get quite a bit of that with the new Fable.
Oh, yeah. That's
like
a good
just
call.
kind of
That's a good call.
Joking about what normal fantasy tropes usually are. I feel like we're going to get quite a bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
I really would see it more serious in tone like Red Dead. Just imagine if there was fairies and dragons in Red Dead.
Just some very snarky fairies.
Yeah. Replace the cowboy hats with, little wizard hats or whatever.
Snarkiest fucking fantasy of all time. All the characters are just annoyed with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for it, though. I'd play it. AK.98 in chat or in super chat says, speaking for myself, I'd love a regular series of Blessing training the KFCast in Tekken / other fighting games as stream content. Listen, I'd be down for it, but I don't know if the rest of the cast are ready. I don't know if Andy is up to the task. He doesn't look like he has the stuff.
2XKO has been the most I've played a fighting game recently where I felt competent. Even when I turned off the pulse, kind of like easy combo stuff, it feels like a fighting game for somebody like me who expects a 2D side-scrolling combat or action game to control a certain way. Mm-hmm. The way I kind of like approach the combat there, I'm still not fully understanding what a lot of the buttons do, but I play it in the way that I was playing Prince of Persia Lost Crown, where it's like punch, then I duck and punch, and that leads to an air move. Then I'll jump up and do a move there, and it's like, oh, this feels like what I'm expecting it to feel like, as opposed to when I play Street Fighter and I'm constantly dropping a combo and I'm not getting the timing right. It feels more responsive, in a way that I enjoy.
I think 2XKO is going to be the one. I think that's going to get you in there. I think Mike's already there, right? But I think that's going to get Mike into it. I'm playing. My plan for Evo next year is to go. I'm going to sign up for Tekken, right? I'm going to compete in Tekken again, and I'm going to win at least 2 games. Is my goal. I'm going to win at least 2 games. And I'm also going to sign up with for 2XKO. It's going to be me. It's going to be Mike. And we're going to call ourselves the Legend Killers. All right? We're going to be some Legend Killers.
That would be really, really cool. I mean, like, I really wish that I hadn't left that night that I went to go play Valorant. Because me and Mike 2v1'd you, and I was like, oh, man, I'm in the groove with this right now. I want to keep on playing this. Mm-hmm. And I, like, that definitely ruined a lot of momentum with me leaving, because I feel like that was the last night that I really played 2XKO, because we've had a lot of other embargoed stuff that we're playing.
I'd be down to like coach you and Mike as like a team, right? If you guys want to like queue up, you guys are a team. I'll play against you as solo, and I'll just run drills, right? We can just run through. All right, here's some basic combos. All right, here's how to react to like this kind of move. All right, let's practice doing a tag combo where you do a combo where you tag Mike in, and Mike, shuts it down or whatever, right? Like I feel like there's potential there.
What I need in these tutorials are to tell me, in certain situations, here's what you should do in this situation. Instead of just backing up and panicking, or instead of just like button mashing like the light combo or whatever. Mm-hmm. What, like, in a tutorial, I want to be able to knock somebody in the air and then the game freeze and be like, here's a lot of different things that you can do here.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I want out of a fighting game tutorial, because it reminds me, it's what I mentioned, I forgot on GAMESCAST we were talking about, but like the basics of cooking at home, cooking a meal, there's like, you have to have some beginner knowledge. And I like that for fighting games, where it's like, I don't know how to cook a meal. I don't know how to combo out of this move. You know how Sonic Fox will just play a game and they'll just immediately pop off on a new fighting game? Because they understand, here's kind of how fighting games work. And I understand how, what the rhythms and the rhyme of these games are. It's similar to anybody hopping into a From Software game and be like, how do I level up? What is it that I level up? When you have that beginner knowledge, it becomes a lot more easy. And I just don't have that beginner knowledge with these fighting games. Aside from back in the day, just downright fierce and I'm Hadoukening and stuff like that,
I just added that to the list of questions for the interview after this. I'm going to ask them about, hey, how are you going to tutorialize this for new players? Because obviously they care. I think that's why the pulse system is in there, because they want people to be able to jump in and do combos and have fun. I think there are some fighting games that do that better than others, but I still feel like not a single fighting game has like nailed it to the extent that you're talking about, where it is, hey, I do this move, pause, here are all the things that you can do here, right? Like, let's actually teach people how to play these
situational
games.
Type shit.
I feel like you can find that stuff on YouTube, I think, but like finding a way to put it in the game proper to where it's interactive and like you don't have to leave, like you don't have to like look at your phone or do something else or have to like learn that stuff, I think could be very good for people.
Also, I think the tutorial defaults to pulse. Be cool if it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it defaults you to the pulse mode, and for people who don't know what that is, that's the
auto combo
that's
system.
Like the easier sort of beginner type mode for people like me who are generally just bad at fighting games, and there's no way to do the tutorial without the pulse mode on. It just always kind of has like tap XXX and you're gonna do a bunch of cool moves.
Let's move on to story number 3. It was a rumor. An Xbox game is being ported to PlayStation, and it's going to be announced possibly next week. I'm pulling from Jesse Norris at Xbox Era. Multiple reputed leakers have reported that Forza Horizon 5 may be getting a port to PlayStation next week during Gamescom. On the forum, Reset Era users Nate Drake and Shinobi have both intimated that Xbox has a new PS5 port coming soon. Noted leaker Ecstasis then dropped a Cinco de Mayo gif, leading many to speculate that the title would be Forza Horizon 5. After 4 titles reported as part of an experiment, one of them took off. Sea of Thieves has been one of the best-selling games on PS4 and PS5 since it launched in April, making more ports like this inevitable. Now, in an update to the story, Jez Corden of Windows Central has refuted the rumor of Forza Horizon 5 being the game ported to PlayStation in a report on Windows Central, saying, quote, Forza Horizon 5 likely isn't the game being announced next week. Although, that's not to suggest Forza Horizon 5 won't ever be ported. It would make absolutely insane money on PlayStation, no doubt, and I'm sure Microsoft has Forza Horizon 5 as a candidate for the port treatment. If we're talking about next week, though, and if I had to guess, and it really is a pure guess, not a tease, I could see something older, like Killer Instinct, State of Decay 2, or Halo Master Chief Collection making their way across sooner rather than later, end quote.
Halo Master Chief Collection would be...
That'd be wild. That'd be cool.
That would be the big official, holy shit, like nothing is sacred, and I think that's awesome. I really wish that it was Forza. I hope that it is Forza. I hope that like people's reports are wrong on that.
Same.
Because you got to feel for the Sony fans out there that haven't had a fun racing game in years. You know what I'm saying? Like they've just been doing these simulation races in Gran Turismo. It's like, what if you could just like drive over a hill and just have an open world racing game?
There was that Need for Speed game that came out a couple years ago. That came out in December, and I played it for like 2 days. Not
sure. But like Forza's fun, you know what I mean? Like
Forza's fantastic.
Forza's like a really, really fun racing game for people who don't want the simulation seriousness of a racing game.
Yeah.
And I say all that in tongue in cheek. I know PlayStation fans are going to get mad at me, but like I look at Gran Turismo and see nothing appealing about it anymore. Back in the day, I was like, holy shit, they got real cars in here. Mm-hmm. The first time I played Gran Turismo, I was blown away. They had like the Honda brand in there. I was like, whoa, this is serious. You know what I mean? But I look at these current racing games. I even look at something like Forza Motorsport, and I don't see the appeal in that. That's coming from a casual racing fan who just wants to drive around open worlds, collect little missions, turn this thing in, get that little bonus, and my XP bar goes up, and I can now unlock a new car. Like Forza Horizon 5 is a much more fun experience for me, and I think that the Sony fans would eat that shit up.
I think Forza Horizon is the most appealing like racer there is outside of like a kart racer like Mario Kart or something like that. I agree. Like I'm of multiple thoughts of this, right? One, I saw people freaking out about this on Twitter like they always do, right? And like I'll still and always stand by. I think the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled is convincing people that this is something to get up in arms about. Oh shit, Xbox is going to put Forza on a PlayStation. Oh fuck, everything is going downhill. Xbox is not going to be no more. Or vice versa. Oh, PlayStation is going to put Horizon on a different platform. Oh, everything's dying. Oh, fucking console games are dead. I think all that stuff is bullshit. I think you got to stop listening to the content creators and the fucking media personalities that are telling you to worry about all this shit. You're fine. It's going to be okay. This is a good thing for players. Right?
They're going to come after your consoles. That's what they're going to do.
The businesses are going to business and like let them figure out how they're going to make their fucking money. But more games and more places to more people is fucking fantastic. And that goes for any console manufacturer. That's first and foremost. Secondly, to your point about even the comparison to Gran Turismo, right? Or like PlayStation, the audience being in the market for something like this. I think you're absolutely right. I like Gran Turismo 7, especially getting my hands on it in VR. That was such a cool experience. And God, if you can put Forza Horizon 5 in VR, I might fucking die. But yeah, like I think there is nothing like Forza Horizon as a franchise in racing. And I'm somebody who I fell in love with Forza Horizon at 3. That was like when I first bought my Xbox One because there was a price error on Target at Target online, and so I got my Xbox One like super cheap in like 2016 2017, something like that. Got my Xbox One. Forza Horizon was one of the 3 was one of the first games I got to try out on it, and when I tell you it was a religious experience. If you're a PlayStation player and you don't own an Xbox or you've not been able to play Forza Horizon on PC, if this happens, you need to play Forza Horizon 5. It is fucking fantastic. My favorite racing game of all time, I'll say, is probably Burnout 3 Takedown. I think if I'm being objective and taking out even nostalgia out of it and all this shit, Forza Horizon 5, probably just the greatest racing game ever made. It's fucking fantastic. That series is endless fun. They've nailed the arcade nature of it. They've nailed like keeping in just
progression and everything.
Progression is good. Man, I just be out. I'm in that game in fields drifting around just to acquire the points and the XP. And I'm having a blast. And I'm finding the barn finds. And I'm racing in these different vehicles. I'm racing against fucking planes and trains and shit. It's so fucking good. I hope this happens. If it's not Forza Horizon 5, whatever game, cool, whatever. I really hope it's for Forza Horizon
Me
5.
too.
Anyway, moving on to story number 4. Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox, it's claimed.
Ooh.
This is Sanche Saxena at Insider Gaming. Reliable leaker, Nate Drake, has claimed that Final Fantasy 16 is arriving for Xbox soon. Nate Drake was asked on Reset Era via Xbox Era whether any more games were coming to Xbox and if a Final Fantasy 16 release is possible. Nate Drake replied that Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox is going to happen, just waiting for Square to announce it, end quote. It's worth noting that this claim about FF16 being released on Xbox comes just a week after rumors about the game coming to PC surfaced. Last week, keen-eyed Reddit users spotted a game-ready profile for Final Fantasy 16 in NVIDIA's latest driver, suggesting an announcement for a potential PC release could be on the horizon. We might receive more clarity on this at Gamescom 2024. Here's the thing. It's all going downhill. We're losing our exclusives. We got to stop this, everybody.
It's unbelievable that everybody else can play this game that I experienced.
What's PlayStation thinking? Letting Xbox get this game.
Damn it,
God
Sony.
damn it. Get it together, PlayStation.
This is so exciting. Oh my God. I cannot wait to play this game on PC again and just experience it without it dropping to 720p at times, because there's so much happening on the screen visually, all the freaking particle effects. Final Fantasy 16 is such a great video game.
It is. What's up, Barrett?
I was just gonna say, like, what's the history with Square Enix PC ports? Because I feel like
are they
aren't
good?
Great.
Wasn't Intergrade? I don't remember hearing anything bad about FF7.
Yeah, Intergrade and Remake were fantastic. I had no issues with them.
I saw there was somebody in chat. I think it was either Sick Gamer or Silk Gamer. I missed the name, but they said Dragon Ball mods are incoming. And could you, if I see one hint of a Super Saiyan character in FF16, I'm playing that entire game with that mod. If I see that shit, oh man.
Greg Miller can install it for you. He can install them out for you.
He'll end up throwing my PC tower out the window.
He knows how to do mods. He's a modder. This is exciting. This is very, very cool. I think Xbox fans will really, really enjoy this iteration of Final Fantasy 16. It is still, to me, the most approachable Final Fantasy game for somebody who is not used, who isn't really used to the tone of anime games or the tone of any of these Final Fantasy games, when you're maybe expecting one thing and then you get the kind of quirky anime sort of stuff happening. And for somebody who's used to it, I understand that this little silly character in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be weird. And sure, we're going to get like random hip hop music when you're riding a chocobo. Like, we understand that that's kind of what that is. But a lot of people who don't watch anime just aren't aware of these different tone shifts, right? I think Final Fantasy 16 is like the most approachable in terms of like, here you are, you're going to get a fantasy video game with a lot of like political intrigue and awesome dialogue and great characters, and it's not overly serious because it's still got awesome characters that have really great dialogue and back and forths and relationships. It's such an awesome freaking video game.
It is,
and it just hits you with hype after hype,
and such good character dynamics too.
Yes.
Like from both the characters that might have a romance brewing to characters that fucking hate each other. I've never played a game that is like convinced me on how much these characters hate each other more than this game. Yeah. And it's fucking hype.
And also Sidolphus is just the coolest son of a gun ever.
Oh man, I love Sid so much in this game. Yeah, you got to play Final Fantasy 16, especially if you're like what Andy described, right? If you're somebody who other Final Fantasies haven't done it for you, or tonally, like you're somebody who doesn't really vibe all the stuff that is like over the top or less serious or whatever. Final Fantasy 16, I think, has the gravitas. It has a very approachable combat system.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know that like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake are going to hit you with these really ultra serious moments, and they're going to be emotional and shit. But I've seen the ways some people in my chat react when I've been doing my Rebirth playthrough, and they'll be like, "What? This is just weird as shit." Because why? Like this guy's just giving you a car and he walks with his shirt off. He's always like flexing for you, and this one old guy is like flirting with all these women. Like, what is going on with this game? And like, there's going to be a lot of silly shit in those games. Final Fantasy 16 doesn't really have that, except for like a floating Moogle.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
like I'm somebody who I love both sides of it, right? Like 7 Rebirth, I will say I like more than FF16.
Oh, I love it. It's
But, like,
entertaining as shit.
But yeah, both of them have. I think both of them have their place, right? And like both of them, if one doesn't vibe with you, doesn't mean the other one. Like in fact, there's like a good chance that the other one is gonna vibe with you, just based on I think how they oppose each other and how dynamically different they are in good ways.
Yeah.
Story number 5 is a very fun one. Prime Video orders an animated video game anthology series. This is Nelly Andreeva at Deadline. Prime Video is blending video game and animation for one of its biggest bets in the adult animated space to date. According to sources, the streamer has teamed with Tim Miller and his Blur Studio, the creative team behind Netflix's acclaimed series Love, Death, and Robots, for another adult animated anthology, Secret Level. Like Love, Death, and Robots, whose episodes are based on short stories, video game anthology Secret Level, created and executive produced by Miller, consists of original short stories which are set within the worlds of beloved video games, I hear. Details are scarce, but Amazon Games' New World, Splunky, and PlayStation titles are rumored to be among the games and IP featured on the series, which is expected to be unveiled soon, likely during Gamescom opening night live. Reps for Prime Video declined comment. So
this is exciting.
Basically sounds like Love, Death, and Robots, but in your favorite video game IPs and New World, which is really awesome.
So just short kind of one-offs based on, here's like a 20-minute episode, here's a 15-minute episode, here's a 30-minute thing.
You watched Love, Death, and Robots?
I didn't watch all of it, no.
Oh, okay.
But I really, really enjoyed what I did see.
I was going to say, it strikes me as a very Andy Cortez
Freaking fantastic looking. Yeah, it's more of a game that I've absorbed through social media. I just never really got back to it, even though I was enjoying it. Another great show on Netflix, Scavenger's Reign.
I've been meaning to get to that.
Very, very cool.
Heard a
show.
lot of people say a lot of glowing things about it.
Yeah. This is super exciting, though. I mean, if this is happens to be a Gamescom opening night live thing, that's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
I want to
see what IPs they're going to be using.
I'm curious about IPs and art style, right? Like Love, Death, and Robots is pretty cool because they kind of like played around with what they can do with
stuff.
Yeah, there's crazy different art styles in that thing. If you're dealing with video games, are they like they're saying PlayStation titles here? If a thing takes place in, let's say, God of War, are they just using the same exact art style from the God of War game, or do they get to go crazy with it and create like, if they wanted to, make like an anime God of War, or make like a very stylized,
like a cell shaded 3D version or something?
Yeah,
like that.
like
similar to what we saw with Star Wars Visions, which I thought was an also a very awesome series.
Is the Splunky episode going to look like Splunky? Like I'm so fascinated by how they approach it, and also
I want an ultra realistic Spelunky, but like the same proportions of the dudes, but like the most realistic skin you ever seen. But like the
head
little
is
guy.
fucking huge.
He's
It's a little guy with a big old head. What's up, Barrett?
Barrett's just shaking his head.
Barrett's just thinking about realistic Splunky.
Yeah,
that's the other thing is, if I'm Blur Studios and I'm doing this and I'm like, all right, we're going to do an episode in New World because it's Amazon, so it's easy to get the license, I imagine. We're going to do a Splunky thing. And then we have our choice of PlayStation IPs. Do you go for the big ones? Are you going to go for Horizon or God of War? Or is there something way smaller? Because my thought process is PlayStation.
One of them is going to be Gravity Rush.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about it. Because like PlayStation,
Twisted Metal.
They have their Horizon TV show that now might not happen, depending. But it still could happen. They have a God of War TV show happening. They have a bunch of IP that they're already doing stuff with. Are you going to license out those same things for an episode, or are you going to do something a bit more niche, something a bit more in the Duffy? Do you make a Patapon episode? Like, do you make a fucking
Katamari?
Katamari? Do you make an Eco episode?
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow Colossus.
Whoa.
A Love, Death, and Robots style Shadow Colossus episode of this thing. When I tell you, I would be insufferable. Like you wouldn't hear me talk about anything else for the rest of the year. If
we got some sort of Bloodborne vibe thing, did you ever watch Genndy Tartakovsky? What's his fucking name? Tartakovsky, the Primal one, or whatever that show is called, that animated show. I think it was called Primal.
Yes, it was Primal.
If we could get something in that vibe where it's like very, very little dialogue, it's just these two characters facing off. It's two hunters or whatever.
Is this like the Samurai Jack?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he released that Primal show, which one of the episodes that I watched was like almost no dialogue. It was just these two characters kind of like hunting each other.
Genji's really good at that shit.
If we had
He's really good
something
at
like that where it was just like a hunter going after a beast, and maybe it's Eileen defending or Jura defending the beast, or like, oh my god, that would
That's
be
why
so awesome.
that shit, Andy, and like he did a lot of that stuff in Samurai Jack as well, and a lot of that stuff in the Clone Wars 2D animated show that he did. Those were the reasons why I wanted him to do a Legend of Zelda thing, because I think he'd be fucking fantastic with it.
Playing with silence, playing with minimal dialogue, getting the most out of it.
Story through that, like, oh.
I hope they get in the Duffy, because I think what you're describing could also work with something like a Horizon or God of War, which is like like minimal dialogue. It's just Kratos hunting a bear or some shit. But like, I would love if they explored, hey, what are all these Japan Studios IP that we've been sitting on because we shut down Japan Studio that we can like dig into? Give me a fucking Dark Cloud episode. Get weird. Story number 6. A new Elder Scrolls game has been announced. This was tweeted out by Bethesda Studios. We're thrilled to announce that the Elder Scrolls Castles, our newest mobile game from the team behind Fallout Shelter, will be launching globally on September 10th. We hope you all enjoy this game as much as we've enjoyed working on it. Hear from our production director and director of mobile games to learn more about our upcoming launch, and they have the video of them talking about it. You can go find that on their Twitter if you want to hear more. Cool.
I got nothing to say, Blossom.
Cool. I got nothing to say. Yeah. Well, let's see if this makes it big, just like Fallout Shelter made it big.
Yeah.
But Andy, if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news you needed to know about. Where would I go?
You'd go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about. Where you could be just a little guy in a big world.
A little guy.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Would you believe I have more tabs open about little guys?
Oh, shit.
There's you know how IGN has the playlist feature where people can like, it's kind of like GG app where people just list things.
Oh, right.
There's a guy, his name is Matt Jones. He made a list called 2022 games where you're a little guy running around. This list has 15 games on it from just 2022 little guys running around.
That deserves its own award show.
That is a kind of feudy prompt right there. Name a 2022 game where you're a little guy running around. Andy, what you got for me?
2022?
Yeah.
I'm even blanking on what games came out in 2022.
My instinct would be Tinykin, but I think that was 21, so I don't want to answer Tinykin.
Oh, this was pandemic.
Yeah.
2022. It Takes Two.
Not on the list.
Shit.
Wait, what? It should be on the list.
Or was that 2021?
I think that was 2021 as well. Yeah, that was 2021.
Tunic is one of the games on
but
Tunic.
Like, you're not a little guy.
But he's a little.
He's a little guy.
But that's not a scale thing.
He's a little guy.
Here's the thing, Andy.
Are they going with the silly, cute? Here's a little guy.
I think that's because they also have multiple Kirby games on here, so I think they're just going for like.
So they're not doing you're not a miniature thing in a gigantic. It's like he's a little guy.
He's a little cute guy, which opens up because he has Stray
little guys
on here.
aren't based around science; they're based around vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't know that. I didn't know the list was a vibe-based vibe. I thought it was
because they have Nobody Saves the World on here, which I guess you're little in comparison to the enemies that you're fighting, but like it's not like the enemies are fucking huge or anything. But I guess you're a little guy running around. I don't know. They have Rogue Legacy 2 on here. They have Sonic Frontiers on here, which I guess Sonic could be considered a little guy. He's fighting big creatures in that game.
I don't love the list.
They're playing loosey-goosey.
I don't love the list.
They're playing loosey-goosey. Wii news for you. This is story number 7. Kingdom Come Deliverance has been delayed to February 11th, 2025. Sumerians...
Same day as Avowed.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Sumerian 6 launches September 2nd on PC. I was going to make a joke about, damn, 2 fantasy games coming out, and I realized Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's not fantasy, right? Or is it?
No, it's just more medieval. I think
medieval.
It's more of a period piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's dragons in Kingdom Come.
They got to add them. If they want to fucking keep up with Avowed, you got to add a dragon in there.
You got to be you got to add that.
And then Alien Rogue Incursion launches December 19th on PSVR 2, MetaQuest 3, and Steam VR. And that's it for Wii News. Before we get out of here, let's see if there are any more super chats. Joey Radstone writes in and says, just had surgery this morning. Thanks for making my recovery time fun.
Get well soon, Joey Radstone.
Yeah, get well. Hope you're okay. Jenny says, hey, Andy, can you start reposting FOM fan art? You find the good stuff. Thanks. What's FOM? It's F lowercase O, Field of Mystria.
Oh, okay.
I figured it out.
You got it. Great job.
Puzzle Poppy.
Thank you. I love puzzles. Is there Fields of Mystery fan art out there yet?
I have no idea.
I feel like it's not time.
I'm excited to find out.
The game just came out. I don't think people have had time yet. And then one more from Zabakeel. They say, so if Dragon Age comes October 31st, when would you all get to play it for review?
It depends on whenever they send us a code.
Yeah. Every publisher, every studio kind of does it differently.
Sometimes it's day of.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get a code.
Yeah.
I think usually maybe it depends on both like how you want like the marketing beat to go, but then also is the game ready? I think a lot of the time it is the game ready to send out for press to be reviewed.
Yeah, for I won't name the game, but for a recent game, there was a moment where it's like you might get the codes this week, but if not, likely next week, and hopefully this week though, because they're still trying to like if they can iron out these last few things, then you'll get the code this week. Like that's how
it's like that a lot.
That's how razor thin it gets. Yeah.
I mean, even with a recent one, college football, right? Like we got that. I think the Friday before the Monday early access, so we got it like 3 days ahead before early access people got access to it. So, and then the example I always love to bring up is Persona 5. Like we got sent that at IGN like 2 months before that game came out. So
yeah,
it's
a lot of the time
place.
things come down to the wire, and then other times it's like, nah, this shit's ready. It's ready to go. Here's the game a month beforehand. Like I forget what I think it was like Nobody Saves the World, where I had that for a good while, and I was just like, damn, all right, cool. I guess I'll just be playing this then.
But then you end up procrastinating, and you're like, oh shit, I only have 4 days to play this.
It's like, oh fuck, I'm only halfway through this game now. I think like the sweet spot usually for a game like Dragon Age Veilguard, which I assume is going to be 40 hours. I would say like probably 3 weeks before. 2 to 3 weeks. I feel like is the sweet spot usually. If it's a game that's like 20 hours long.
Are you talking about ideally or what we think? Because I wouldn't be surprised if we got it like a week before.
Ideally to typically.
Because sometimes like obviously they want reviewers to play as much as possible, but there's so many times that a 50-hour game comes out 3 days, or we get the review code 3 days before it comes out.
But I feel like for high profile stuff, like a high profile like 40-hour game, I would expect like 2 to 3 weeks before. And 3 weeks if they're being like very generous and good about it. 2 weeks if it's like, sorry, this is the best we could do.
I'm hoping over a week. That's like where my conservative prediction is.
Because it also depends on like when they want the review embargo to be as well. I think is like also a
that's also a thing. Because I'm also saying this thinking that like it's going to be a day before launch review embargo. Right. Oftentimes review embargoes can be anywhere between a day before launch or a week before launch.
PlayStation's usually like a week before, like with God of Wars and shit like that.
There may even be a preview embargo.
Yeah, there's that too.
There's sometimes where they give you a full review code and they're like, you can only talk about, we're going to have a preview embargo on this date 3 weeks before it comes out, and you can only talk about the first chapter or the first 2 chapters or whatever. That's what happened with Visions of Mana on our review yesterday.
Preview.
Or preview, right.
Now it's time. kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. You write in and let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Sun Lee says it's Chekhov's gun, not Tchaikovsky's gun. Bless. Appreciate the reference though. Appreciate that you're wrong. I think I was joking, but I can't even remember if I was saying seriously.
We were talking about Gendy Tartakovsky, and we were trying to figure out how to say his last name.
Oh, yeah.
And Blessing was trying to say his last name as Tarkovsky's gun.
I was trying to make a joke.
Yeah, I appreciated it, Bless. I just didn't want to shout it out.
And then Gamer Math Theory. It was another King of Halloween thing of people asking why did I not know October 31st? Again, I'm forgetful. You know this. Don't be surprised.
Yeah.
And that's it for kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Of course, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or on YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free. Watch us record them live and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the GAMESCAST next after this. That's going to be the 2XKO interview with me, Mike, and the lead champion designer. Enjoy the screencast after that, our Alien Romulus review, and the stream after that, Spectre Divide. But until next time, Game Daily.